guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked.
Contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd.
You can look at someone like Canelo and see that he has the freedom to choose his opponents whenever he wants. But I'll be honest about him. People praise him too much. Yet when I fought him, I was nearly 40 years old and still beat him convincingly. When asked to compare my fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr. to Terence "Bud" Crawford's fight tonight, my answer is simple. I believe Crawford is better than Floyd. Floyd was the best fighter of his time, and I respect that, just like I'm the best of my own era, but there's no reason to compare me to Floyd or put us against each other.
This week actually said something interesting. He goes like Crawford's better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like he is?
I think he's more all-rounded in some ways, but Mayweather was so good at certain things that made him impossible to beat. He really stuck to his niche of style, where Crawford kind of tries to fight the more honest, I guess, exciting, traditional way, being there, just moving out the way, landing the shot, where Mayweather would have you dancing around him and chasing him and falling short and falling in and countering the life out of you, and knew and understood 10-9 rounds better than anyone else. You only have to win 7, 10-9 rounds clear and you've won the fight as long as you don't get put down. And obviously he never really got put down. I know there's a few question marks, but for all intents and purposes, never got put down, and he was the best, one of the best to ever do it. It's very hard to go a whole career undefeated.
Terence "Bud" Crawford stayed undefeated with a clear unanimous decision win over Canelo Alvarez, capturing the undisputed super middleweight title in one of the most talked about fights of the year at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on September 13, 2025. Stepping up 2 weight classes, Crawford showed complete confidence from the opening bell, and despite Canelo being the bigger and stronger fighter, he took control by setting the tempo, using sharp boxing skills, fast footwork, and well-timed combinations to neutralize Canelo's power and secure a dominant victory.
Man, I love the fight, man. I love the fight. I did not know how it was going to go. I didn't think the weight was going to be a problem for Terence Crawford. I'm on record as saying I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it stood to be seen. It needed to be seen, and I knew we would have known after the first, second, or third round. You feel what I'm saying? And when I seen how Canelo was respecting his jab and how Canelo was respecting his power from the very beginning, I knew how it was going to go. And I knew that Bud was only going to get stronger and get bolder and, you know, start to wear him down, because Canelo is known to start to wear a little bit in the later round.
Everyone said that Crawford was not going to exchange tonight, and he traded with Canelo up close.
Man, Bud is the best, man. Bud is the best. I've been on wax and saying that, Bud. I've been on wax and saying that for a couple of years now. I bet against Bud on Spence. I bet against Bud on Porter. I didn't think that Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, bro. He hands down. He the best. He the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease. Right? You got to respect that.
Break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by gaining Canelo's respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was smaller and everything else, these fighters are still humans, and they hear what the people are saying. Canelo was, I'm sorry, not Canelo. Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to the Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. showed strong belief in Terence Crawford by backing him to defeat Canelo Alvarez, even when most people saw Crawford as the underdog. Mayweather placed a $50,000 moneyline bet at plus 148 odds, and when Crawford won by unanimous decision, the wager paid out $124,000. The move reflected not just confidence in Crawford's ability, but also Mayweather's sharp understanding of boxing and how big fights can unfold.
That he bet $50,000 on Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford made Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford. How much money did you win on Crawford?
Like $200.
$200 here, $200 there. But most people that I know bet on Canelo. And we'll hear from Canelo. We're going to hear from Crawford. And I'll keep you guys posted. But right now, Floyd Money Mayweather, bet on Crawford and make some money. What do you want to see Crawford do next? What do you want to see Canelo do next? Let me know. Definitely interesting developments here tonight. When I watched the fight live, I thought Canelo won. I think Canelo won. I have to watch it again, but with no audio because I know the broadcasters were all against Canelo. They were all against him all week from the rivals.
For this matchup, Floyd Mayweather Jr. openly trusted Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez, even though most people had Crawford as the underdog. He backed that belief with a $50,000 moneyline bet at plus 148 odds, and when Crawford secured a unanimous decision victory, the bet returned $124,000. The win showed not only Mayweather's confidence in Crawford's talent, but also his sharp insight into boxing and how elite fights are likely to unfold.
Fight in the world. We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion, something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to...
Terence Crawford has always looked up to Floyd Mayweather, not just for his skills inside the ring, but for the way he controlled his career and protected his legacy. That respect eventually turned into a real relationship, with Mayweather offering advice that Crawford listens to closely and applies to his own journey. Their connection is built on mutual respect, big ambitions, and a shared understanding of the discipline and mindset needed to reach the highest level in boxing.
Niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boss, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll beat this.
Boy, you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never.
Recent press conference, Canelo Alvarez made headlines by admitting that he believes Terence Crawford is far better than Floyd Mayweather, a statement that carried weight considering Alvarez suffered his first career loss to Mayweather in 2013 when he was just 23 and still undefeated. Crawford backed that claim with an outstanding performance, using quicker hands, cleaner footwork, and sharp strategy to outbox Canelo over all 12 rounds, and despite jumping up 2 weight classes, he shut down Canelo's power with smart defense and perfectly timed counters.
I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
my
2,
pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night, and if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because imagine. So I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
After Canelo Alvarez said that Terence Crawford is better than Floyd Mayweather, Floyd's uncle Jeff Mayweather fired back with a strong response. He claimed Canelo made that statement to elevate Crawford and, in turn, make his own loss to Floyd look more respectable. Jeff emphasized that Canelo fought Floyd while he was in his prime, shutting down any suggestion that Mayweather was past his best, and he also rejected comparisons in defensive ability, saying that while Crawford is highly skilled, Floyd's defense remains on a level no one has matched.
Majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other 2 judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody
and that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him into deep waters. So
yeah. What was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost. Yeah, but a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Trainer Greg Hackett has also weighed in on the debate between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, making it clear that he still ranks Mayweather higher. While he gives Crawford full credit for his strong performance against Canelo Alvarez, Hackett believes Mayweather's defense, ring awareness, and overall boxing IQ set him apart. He acknowledges Crawford's skill and accomplishments but points to Mayweather's undefeated career and dominance in multiple weight classes as reasons he remains ahead in the all-time discussion, keeping the debate alive over who truly defines greatness in this era of boxing.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring, who's the better fighter, Jim?
Of course, you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time, Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ, you know what I'm saying? Everything he do, he was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that.
Eddie Hearn strongly disagreed with Canelo Alvarez's claim that Terence Crawford is better than Floyd Mayweather Jr., arguing that Crawford's resume doesn't come close to matching Mayweather's. He pointed out that many of Crawford's opponents were no longer at their best when he fought them, and while he did credit Crawford for major wins, including the victory over Canelo, Hearn emphasized that Crawford has not faced the same level of elite competition across multiple weight classes that Mayweather consistently did throughout his career.
Agree with that?
No, I don't, but I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. The thing is with Crawford, and I was kind of goading him on this, and it's not his fault, his resume's not that impressive. Like, I said to him, tell me your best win ever. This is what I said to him. And you know what he said? Ricky Burns. Right? Now, Ricky Burns is a great fighter. He's my guy. He's a 3-division world champion. But you can't say that he is, like one of the greats. He's one of the greats of Scottish boxing. But if you're talking about one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it's not Terence's fault that he hasn't been able to get those fights. But a lot of the guys that he's fought have been done. Even arguably Ricky Burns at the time. I know he went on to win other world championships, but he was kind of on the slide at that time. Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Gamboa, all of these guys. Who else did he beat? Ndongo, like Errol Spence, another example. Terence is brilliant, but he's never actually really had many notable victories. This would be it. I mean, this would be an incredible achievement. But I just feel like at the age that they're at, like, what is going to happen in this fight? And I just see I don't think Terence, because he shouldn't, is going to take that many chances in the fight. He needs to use his movement, use his footwork, which Canelo doesn't like, and win rounds. And Canelo doesn't really like to force a fight. When did you last see Canelo?
Caramel Martin recently doubled down on his belief that Floyd Mayweather will always be the greatest of all time, saying that despite the growing hype around Terence Crawford, Mayweather's flawless record, elite ring IQ, unmatched defense, and success in multiple weight classes set a level few can never touch. He applauded Crawford's accomplishments, especially the win over Canelo, but explained that true greatness comes from long-term dominance, consistency, and making history, such as remaining undefeated at the highest level, adding that while Crawford is outstanding, Mayweather's legacy stands alone.
With this, because two pound-for-pound greats of this era, Canelo, we see the resume, Crawford, 2-time undisputed, potentially this weekend becomes 3. I've said in a few interviews, is it skills pay the bills, or does a good big man beat a good little man? How do you see it?
I feel like the skills pay the bills, and I feel like Crawford's not that much littler than Canelo. You know, we've seen in the face-off that they're around the same size. If not, Crawford like a little bigger. Yeah, for sure. So, you know, really just we're gonna see tomorrow. You know how it plays out. Whoever the better man is that night, I feel like will win. You know, I feel like it's even playing fields, and you know both guys coming ready. So we're just gonna have to see.
If Terence does win this, a lot of people are saying that puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd, and a lot of people are saying Floyd is great. But does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonards, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. You know, of course, nobody will ever.
Crawford addressed the non-stop comparisons to Floyd Mayweather Jr. by saying fighters should be judged in their own era, explaining that he sees himself as the best of his time just as Mayweather was in his, making direct comparisons unnecessary and showing his confidence in building his own legacy. Following Crawford's historic victory over Canelo Alvarez, longtime trainer Brian "Bomac" McIntyre added that there is no rush for another fight, stressing that Crawford has just achieved one of the biggest wins of his career and deserves time to recover after an intense camp and a hard 12-round battle, recommending a proper physical and mental break so he can fully enjoy the moment before deciding what comes next.
And we're going to assess that. And, you know, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for like probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
And what for you?
Yeah.
Damn. And for you? Hey, this thing. Appreciate you. What you saying about training a half a year?
We train almost.
Bernie Thigh, a close supporter of Terence Crawford, strongly criticized the judging after the Canelo fight, saying they tried to rob them despite the unanimous decision win. He argued that the scorecards failed to properly reflect how dominant Crawford was, claiming several rounds were scored unfairly or made to look closer than they truly were. According to Bernie, Crawford clearly controlled the fight, dictated the pace, showed superior boxing skills, and outworked Canelo throughout, yet the margins on the judges' cards did not match that performance, highlighting once again how judging controversies can stir frustration in boxing even when the winner seems obvious.
Every myth. Can he take a punch? Is he strong? Is this guy too strong? Man, he did everything. He did everything. Didn't he? Stood and fought with him. See how he
was in the pocket. Was in the pocket.
Turned him. Did everything. Talking about he too strong. Turned him a couple times. Pushed it.
Floyd Mayweather brings a different angle to this matchup, having beaten Canelo Alvarez back in 2013 when Canelo was still undefeated and rising fast, a victory that remains one of the defining moments of Mayweather's career and a clear display of his elite defense and ring intelligence. Now, years later, Mayweather has turned his attention to Terence Crawford, the fighter who recently dominated Canelo, and by calling him out, he is not only reigniting excitement in the boxing world, but also reminding fans that he still believes he belongs among the very best.
23. That's so fucking young. Yeah. And he was like, that was when he used to
he was
prime,
in his
right?
prime,
And you're only 23.
20.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because beat him. If you beat him, you wanna be the best in the world. At 23, so imagine that. But he was the better man that night. A lot of experience. He's a great.
With Floyd Mayweather calling out Terence Crawford, the big question is whether this could lead to one of the biggest fights boxing has ever seen, or if Floyd should remain retired and allow Crawford to carry the sport forward into a new era. The debate is heating up, and fans are eager to see what happens next, so stay locked in for the latest boxing news, fight updates, highlights, and stories by subscribing to Ring Headquarters, turning on notifications, and checking out our other videos. And until next time, take care and stay ready.